This video is going to be about how everybody is on their own path, and I'm going to go into depth about what that means to me. I think that we were meant to cross paths with many different people and energies within this lifetime, and nothing lasts forever. People don't stay in our lives forever. We don't stay at one place forever, one job, like everything. It's on the path and it's on the way to wherever we're going. It's important for me to stay reclusive in the sense of like just being in my own energy and keeping that protective bubble and shield around myself, separate from other people, because I know that when I do get into connections with people, sometimes I do feel like my energy does easily get merged with other people's, and I don't like the feeling of not knowing where I start and the other person ends. It's important for me to have my own identity and my own life structure and my own ideas and my own system and my own path. Like, that's very important to me. Not allowing people to sway me from my own journey. And I do feel like sometimes, like in the past, I think I'm pretty much aware of it now, but in the past, like there have been moments where I like would meet someone and like my whole world stops, because everything that I do is tied or linked to this person and our future. And there's no real issue in moving toward a future with someone. The only issue that comes with that is when the other person isn't on the same page. And the best way to describe it, like when I'm on the giving end of that, is me kind of like dragging and like trying to pull somebody on this path that I'm on, and I'm like, come on, like, I see the end goal, I see how good this can get, I know where I'm going, and I know I'm gonna get there. And whenever I meet somebody who I want to come with me, not to say that nobody's meant to come with me, because there are some people who's in my life and it aligns perfectly and it's seamless and it doesn't feel like I'm dragging them. But I'm talking about when people come into my life, and like I can almost always tell when somebody's meant to last in my life and when they aren't. Actions, energy, the words that they say, and sometimes, well, in the past, I feel like I've ignored like the energy that this person was giving off, just because I know the end goal, and it's like, don't you want this too? Like, don't you want to come with me too? Like, if you do this and that with me, we can get here. But it's like, this person is on their own path, they're going in their own direction, they're going this way and I'm going that way. We met, but we wasn't meant to stay. We was meant to meet, exchange whatever energy that was, and then keep going on about our lives. And I think that a lot of people get that confused, and that's how you end up with people who've been in like situations that they hate for years, because it's like you're trying to force yourself to align with these people or with energies that is clearly in misalignment to your goals. And for me, it's like, once something feels misaligned to my goals, I realign it to my goals, because my goals are my goals and my goals are not going to change. That's just straight up. My goals will never ever change. Now, what may change is how I get there. What may change is what I do to get there. What may change is who I'm with to get there. But me getting there is always going to happen, period. And whenever somebody doesn't align with that, it's fine. Like I said, they're on their own path and they're on mine. If what I'm doing doesn't align with the person and their goal, That's okay, that's fine. They're on their path and I'm on mine. Like, does it suck sometimes? Yeah, it's like, damn, like, I really wanted you to be a part of this with me. Like, I really wanted to experience life with you in this way. But you are living your own life, and that's fine, and you should. The same way I'm living my own life. But it's like, I'm gonna reach my goals with or without you. And it doesn't mean that, like, I'm cutting these people out of my life or anything like that. It's just like, I kind of have to restructure my expectations with people. It's definitely like, bro, Mercury is in retrograde, and it's retrograding my 7th house, and obviously 7th house is like relationships and partnerships and everything like that. And while I do feel like I am aligning beautifully with the people who deserve, well, I won't say deserve, while I feel like I'm aligning perfectly with the people who are relevant to my goals, it's kind of just like, I'm just realizing a lot of what I'm willing to put up with in like partnerships. Yeah, having Leo in my 7th house is a beautiful placement. Like, it's very, you know, but when it comes to relationships and dating, like, obviously I like people who are like extremely over the top. Like, I love, like, extremely over the top, extremely confident. Like, I love that shit. I live for that shit. And I made a clear list. I actually made it with my therapist. Shout out to her. I made a clear-cut list of characteristics I would want, like, a partner or like a friend or whoever to have to be in my life. I don't remember everything off the top of my head. It was like a list of like 35 things, but from what I do remember, or like whatever the top ones were, was adaptability, compassionate, cleanliness, consideration, kind, confident, creative, inspirational, understanding, devoted. Like, you know, there was some other ones in there, obviously, but I can't really think of them. But those were all like my top. Once I made that list, it kind of felt like somebody put a magnifying glass on all of the relationships in my life, because yeah, a lot of people in my life don't check those boxes. Everything that I just said out loud, a lot of the people, well, I won't say a lot, but there's some people in my life, I'm over here like it's like 2 or 3 people, but like they kind of like a magnifying glass was put on them, and like I was just starting to see certain characteristics that I didn't really fuck with. And also I told myself I wanted to start dating again this summer, and like every date that I've been on has been like kind of like, not, I wouldn't say awful, but the people just exhibited shit that I don't fuck with. And I think it's very important for me to notice things when it first happens and move on, because like I said, like a lot of people when people show you who they are, I think it's important to believe them. And it's like, okay, does this feel like it's in alignment with my goals in life? That's how I see everything. Everything that enters my life, I assess it and I say, is this in alignment with what my goals are? And if they aren't, then they gotta go. Because if it's not in alignment with what my goals are, what are we entertaining this for? Like, this is silly. Like, what? In order to live the type of life that I want to live, I can't accept what I don't feel like I deserve. Because if I accept what I don't deserve, if I accept what I know I don't deserve, it's putting me in alignment with other things that I don't deserve. Because the universe is like, oh, you're accepting this, you must want more. Oh, you're accepting this, so you're just accepting anything. Let me just throw anything at you because you're accepting anything. But it's like, when something comes to me and I'm like, nah, this is not me. This is not what I want. This is not in alignment. This is not what I want more of. I get rid of it. That's it. I get rid of it to make room for what I feel like I do deserve and what I do want. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to continuously beat a dead horse or water a dead plant. It's important. Like, I don't mind starting over. That's like the difference, I think, between me and a lot of people. I personally, I don't mind starting over. I almost welcome it just because it's like the idea of trying something again. It's like, I like starting over because I have a new perspective and like, I'll just try it a different way. If that doesn't work, I'll try it a different way. If that doesn't work, I'll try it a different way. But when it comes to people and places, no. Because most people don't change. That's just the bottom line. And it's like, if you couldn't get it right the first time, I think that's weird. And I think that you just aren't in alignment, because the person who I want, the people who I want in my life are people who I don't even have to second guess. I don't even have to question if they would do something or if they won't do something, because I know that they won't do it, because that's just who they are and that's just their character. So whenever people do things that I don't really fuck with, I'm just like, okay, like I don't really align with your character. I don't like it. And that's just who you are, and you should never change who you are. However, you can't be who you are and be around me acting like that, you know? Like, it's just like, it's okay. It's always okay. Yeah. This video isn't gonna be much longer. I just was in the park earlier and I had the thought of it. Yesterday I had a pretty decent day. I went to this artist talk event. A few of my friends was like speaking on their art and things like that. Super proud of them. Shout out Barry. Shout out Keely. They did a really good job. And then I ended up going to this fashion show. A friend of mine, Tiani, put it together. Amazing, crazy, talented person. And prior to leaving the house yesterday, I spoke on the phone with my friend India, and I was just like, you know, I'm not sure if I want to be social today. And she said, that's okay, that's fine, because honestly, neither do I. And I've been feeling like a deep sense of isolation, which is fine, because I feel like I do like the most healing, and I feel the most creative, and I do the most like thinking like in isolation. So like, it's one thing to be isolated, but it's one thing to feel lonely. And when we spoke on the phone, I said, you know what, I don't really think I'm in the mood to be social. Like, I'm still gonna go to all of these events. Like, I want to support my friends. I want to go to these events, but it's like, I said, I'm not sure if I want to be social. She said, okay, that's fine. Honestly, neither do I. But it's like, when I got there, when I hung out, and when I saw all the people, like all my friends, and like everybody was like so excited to see me, and I was excited to see them too. And like, we was talking and chatting it up. Like my India, she turned to me like towards the end of the night, and she was like, look at you, you said you didn't want to be social today. And I was like, I guess I was pretty social. But then, like, it dawned on me, I like socializing with people that I know. That is exactly what it is. Like, I don't like talking to strangers. Like, I mean, like, for my job and like things like that, like, it's something that I have to do inevitably, but that's almost always never an issue, because like, if I'm talking to strangers at work, it's because it's like I'm talking to artists and things like that, or like, you know, curators, or like I'm talking to other creatives. Like, talking to other creatives is fine. Like, socializing with other creatives is fine. But like, I don't like socializing with, you know what it is? I don't like socializing with men. I just don't. I'm gonna just say it flat out, straight out. I don't like it. It feels like somebody is pressing my back against the wall. Like, if it's like a gay man, then it's fine, because I know that they like want nothing from me for real. But anyway, back to the story. I just feel like it goes to show that like setting a boundary with myself, that I'm only like truly socialize with people who I feel comfortable with. It doesn't make socializing feel like such a drag. It actually feels pretty good. It felt really good to see the people who I care about and like speak to them and catch up with them briefly. And I'm just like, wow, like we should do this often. Like, we should do this more often. Like, I really, really like this. Yeah, I definitely keep conversations with men extremely short, just because it's like, I don't want you to like try and get the wrong idea or try to get my number or something like that. Like, I don't want you in my phone. I don't want to see your face on Instagram. I don't want you liking my shit. Like, I don't need or want any of your attention or energy. Like, this is not that type of phone. This is not that type of life. Like, unless it's like a customer or something, or like a friend. Like, I don't like, I have plenty guy friends who haven't made me feel uncomfortable or things like that. But yeah, it's definitely daunting. I feel like that's why I feel most comfortable in creative spaces. Like, mainly because mostly everybody in the creative space is like, they're there because they like for the love of the game, for real, you know. Like, they just love the creativity. They love to be around art the same way I do. And like, my art community, we are very we're all like pretty close, and we're all like pretty, like, we understand and respect each other's boundaries. But we also like are there for each other, like, whenever we need, which is like something that I definitely can appreciate. So it's like, I don't mind socializing with them because I actually fuck with them. I actually fuck with them. Look at my little, I got this flowers from this stranger yesterday. It's cute. It has a little QR code. I think it's like to her website or something. I also think I'm gonna get a Google number, because I'm not giving my number out to people no more. It's inappropriate. That's the bottom line. It is inappropriate. No, you cannot have my number. That is an inappropriate question. You can have my Google number. I have to figure out how to set that up. I say all of that to say, you can't take everybody with you, no matter how hard you want to. If you really want the life that you desire, only accept the things that align with what your goals are. Only accept the things that align with your dream life. Because if you're accepting things that don't align with your dream life, you're basically telling yourself subconsciously that you don't believe in your dream life. You don't believe in it. Therefore, you're going to keep accepting what you know you don't deserve and what you know you don't want. But in reality, maybe you do want it because you keep choosing it. So I think it's time for people to be honest with themselves. about their goals and about where they where they allocate their time and how they like allocate their energy. Because if you really want this so-called dream life, are you willing to put the work in? Are you willing to reset your timeline and jump timelines? And you know, you want your dream body, but every time you go to the gym you decide not to go. That you're never gonna get it. Action plus dreams equals manifestation. That's all like the law of correspondence. And that's the painting. That's a painting that I've done, that I will be uploading on here soon, so keep on lookout for that. But that's basically literally like what the law of correspondence means to me, like the connection between your mind, body, spirit, and like action, and just like assessing what you really want within your spirit and figuring out how you can like transmute it to like your body and like in physical form, and then how can you turn that into action. And that's just basically like my whole manifestation like ritual. Like I'll write down exactly what I want, and then I'm gonna figure out, I'm just gonna figure out how to get it. That's straight up like that. Sometimes it's instant. There's other things that I know take time. When it's instant, like I'd be so shook, but like not as much as I used to be. Yeah, it's a very cool feeling to know that all I have to do is ask for something and literally put myself in alignment with the ask, and then I just get it. It's all about alignment. If you allow yourself to get out of alignment, if I feel like I'm not happy in the situation, I will leave. That's the bottom line. I will leave. Like I'm not one to stay in situations where I feel like I'm exerting way too much. Like if I feel like I'm giving more than I'm getting, then no. Like if this was like a mutual effort, then that's a different story. But if I genuinely feel like I'm like putting out more than what I'm getting back, it's a dub. Because clearly it's not in alignment, and it's draining me. That's why I tell people, like, I always like have no problem. Like I said, I love starting over. I love it because it's just like the opportunity for new opportunities. The opportunity for new opportunities. And I think that what a lot of people should start manifesting is opportunities. Manifest the opportunities to come into your life. So when the opportunities come into your life and they're presented to you, you'll see how bad you really want it. Because are you going to take that opportunity, or are you going to let it pass? How bad do you really want that manifestation? Manifest the opportunity for what you want to manifest. Let the opportunity present itself. You take the opportunity. The universe is like, you know what? You really want this? Take it. Just like that. Just like that. I'm going to give you a very, very, very perfect, straightforward example. I used to work at a seafood restaurant, and one day I got to work and I was like, I really want some calamari. But like, if you ever worked in a restaurant, you know that if you want free food, you either have to be cool with one of the cooks, you gotta be cool with one of the managers, or you gotta see like if food, like if a table sends their food back, or if a table like their food dies in the window, you gotta whoever is up for grabs, right? So I said I couldn't really go for some calamari. Like I couldn't really go for that. And as soon as I got to work, clocked in or whatever, I changed up. One of the chefs, he said they made extra. He said, oh, like one of the other cooks dropped 2 orders of calamari, but it was only 1 on the ticket. He said, do you want this? Him offering it to me was the opportunity. Now, how would I look after saying all day that I wanted calamari? How would I look saying no when he's offering it to me? He said, oh, like, do you want this? I said, yes. Yes, I do. And what's crazy, like, manifestation doesn't have to be a whole big show where you're like lighting candles and praying and doing the dance. It doesn't have to be that. Sometimes all you have to do is ask. I said, I want calamari. I said, I could really go for some calamari, but I don't want to pay for it. That's all I said. I said it to myself on the train on the way there. I get there. He said, here, do you want this? I said, yes, I do. Thank you. And I ate it, and I got my little calamari. So if you break down life like that, you'll see how much you do unintentionally manifest things coming into your life, good or bad. There's a lot of work that I'm doing around speaking and like what I speak into and like over my life, and because words are very important, like words and thoughts. So yeah, walk your own path, accept what you only want, and be clear on your goals. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Just know that everything is going to be in alignment if you accept what you know is in alignment with your goals. If it's misalignment, get out of there. I am about to go handle some business and do some things for my own manifestation. And it's Sunday, so it should be good. Sunday fun day. But yeah,